What's going on, guys? So, I was just on Threads, right? And I saw a young lady ask a question. She said, "Have you ever pretended to be okay just to avoid an argument?" And my response was absolutely. Most men do it all the time. It also prompted me to do a podcast because I figured that there were some keys that we can use, man, instead of feeling like we got to go in these corners and die and not really be seen or dealt with in these situations, man, where we really avoid the argument and we pretend to be okay. I figured I'll give us some skills, man, to really try to work through this stuff, man. And when we're going through an argument or a disagreement with a woman that we love, you know what I mean? I think it's some skills we need. So I just wanted to share them, man. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it. So I think the first thing we need to do, man, is emotional mastery, right? A man who controls his emotions, man, controls the relationship dynamic, right? And when I say control, it's not about being mean or being harsh. It's just about being able to go into a situation and realize I'm going to control how this goes, because we all know that women are emotional, and sometimes a woman's emotionalism can get us to the point where we losing ourselves, or you get too upset, you walking away. I know one thing about me, I have a short fuse to stuff I consider nonsense, right? And so I think that as men, we need these skills to help us really get through it. So emotional mastery, right? I think it's very important that you master your emotions in a situation, man, because otherwise you'll get caught up in what she's doing, and then you'll lose focus on the communication or what you're really trying to say. And then you'll lose what's going on, and now you're angry, you're upset, and the relationship gets worse. So I think there's a way, man, number one, to master your emotions. How are you feeling in that moment? I think one of the greatest ways you can do this is to slow the pace down. Slow the pace down and understand that most times in a debate or an argument with a woman, you're not just dealing with what she's saying out of her mouth. You're dealing with the emotions behind it, right? The other stuff that comes with it. When most women argue with you, there's always something else going on besides what she's just saying. And if you don't slow down enough, you'll just be pierced by what she's saying, not realizing that sometimes it's coming from a whole nother angle, maybe something that has nothing to do with you. So never let the frustration dictate your actions, man, when it comes to the relationship or when it comes to that argument or that debate. Number two, set the tone. Set the tone. Don't just react, right? Because women respond to our energy. They do, right? And if we come off like we pissed off, man, they automatically either going to go in their shell or they're going to be pissed off too. Just like it depends on what kind of woman what kind of woman you're with, right? But understand that no matter what kind of woman you're with, their energy is set by how we go into it, right? So if you let her pull you into the chaos, bro, you already lost, right? And when I talk about losing, I'm not talking about winning or losing a debate or argument, because that's not what we're into. As men, we want peace. But at the same time, don't let her pull you into her chaos, man, because you got to hold your ground to have a big picture of the situation so you're not losing it or wrecking your relationship or leaving your relationship, or one silly argument leads to a breakup when it didn't have to. Because why? You didn't let her chaos pull you in. Number three, boundaries over battles every single time, right? Boundaries over battles every single time. See, boundaries, a lot of times women talk about boundaries, and it's like women are the only ones that's supposed to have boundaries. It's like, well, I got these boundaries, don't cross my boundaries. Well, guess what, bro? You have boundaries too. And you need to have your boundaries respected. Know what you will and what you won't deal with when you go into these arguments, right? Before you go into them. Because once you get into that argument, once you get into that debate, if you got to declare to her what you will or will not deal with, it's already too late, because now you pissed off because she crossed your boundary before you let her know what your boundaries are. So you got to know, this is what I'm going to take. This is what I'm not going to take. I'm not going to take this disrespect. I'm not going to have you yelling at me or whatever it is. You got to know your boundary so you can control yourself, not the situation. Control yourself. If you control yourself as a man, the situation is under control, right? Because as a man, understand this. Enforce your standards. It earns you respect, right? I was talking to my lady the other day, and we were talking about a man and respect. She was telling me, man, once a woman realizes that you'll lose it and that she can cross your boundaries, she's going to walk in a level of disrespect for you all the time. That's crazy, but it's the truth, right? And so you gotta set your standards and make her realize it's not going that way. Do that, bro. It'll save your mind. It'll save your peace. That's what we all want anyway. Understand this too. Lead with logic, not ego. The minute you lead with ego, man, you're coming in hot. I guarantee you. Why? Because if you feel disrespected, your ego is pierced. You know, as men, that's what we got, our ego. And it can be good or it can be bad. You can drink water or you can drown in it. You can cook with fire or burn your house down with it. You see the same thing with ego, right? So lead with your logic, not your ego. And when you get into those debates, respond with clarity is the most important thing, not with defensiveness. Understand this. A woman is always going to be defensive because she don't know how you're going to come off. So if you come in defending, she's going to be ready to fight. And once she's ready to fight, then you like, what? Whoa, who are you talking to? You know, that sort of thing. And it goes too far. Understand this, man. You can't just lead when things are going good. You got to lead in those times too. Lead her out of the emotional insanity she's in, right? You got to lead. You got to lead because the leader guides, man. Understand this. A leader guides. And in that way, you don't find yourself in aimless arguments because you're leading the situation. You're not letting it go too far. You're not letting the argument go all over here and over there. I've been through that. I've been through that in one of the craziest relationships I was ever in. Arguments would go 2 and 3 hours to the point where I didn't even know what the topic of the discussion was. A woman can do that, man, because she's emotional. We not fit for that. So when you lead, man, lead with logic, not your ego. Because once your ego gets bruised, man, things go way too far. Lastly, brothers, I'm going to leave you with this. Understand, it's very important. Choose peace over drama every single time. We say we want peace. You got to choose peace. And I want to throw this in too. This cliche thing. I need a woman that's going to be my peace. Ain't no woman going to ever be your peace, bro. Can she offer you peace? Yes, but no woman's ever going to be your peace. You got to have your own peace. You got to have it. If you don't have your own peace, you already lost, bro. You got to create your peace and then decide who's allowed in it. Why? Because the right woman will bring you balance, not unnecessary conflict, right? Maybe you're with the right person. Maybe you're not. At the end of the day, don't let anybody pull you into unnecessary conflict because then they're pulling you outside of yourself. You owe yourself more than that, bro. I love you. Hang on in there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Become a part of this great community where grown men grow more. Hey, bro, I'm proud of you. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. All you got is right now. What you gonna do about it? Hang in there. I'm on your side. Peace. And I'm out of here.